Thank you for joining me for this tutorial focused on managing verification plans for use with the MVS system in the Artelware application. I have some great information to share with you, so let's go ahead and get started. There are two ways to add an automated liquid handler verification plan into the Artelware software. The first is to use the Create Plan shortcut that's located on the Get Started bar. The second way is to use the configuration icon located on the far left side navigation panel and go into the verification plans section. Let's go ahead and head back to the home screen, and let's use the Create Plan shortcut that's on the Get Started bar. Once I click on Create Plan, I'll then need to select Liquid Handler Verification and click OK. There are two tabs that need to be completed when a verification plan is being made. The first tab that needs to be completed is an Info tab, and the second tab is the Dispense Steps tab. But let's go ahead and deal with the Info tab first. I have an 8-channel, 20 to 200 microliter dispense volume head that I want to test on my robot. So I'm going to call this 200 microliter variable. And I'll also call it _8 channel to represent that this is for an 8-channel head. The next field is a description field. Now, because there's not a red asterisk next to this field, it's not required, so we're going to leave it blank. Next, we'll select the plate type. It should be noted that unless you have purchased the 384 well plate support add-on license, the only plate type available to you will be 96 wells. Next, we'll go into the head configuration section. This is where we'll select the number of channels that this head has. As I mentioned before, this is an 8-channel head, so I'll select 8 channels. The next field is the orientation field. Because this is an 8-channel device, there's only one orientation available, and that's vertical. The next field is the tip spacing field. Because, again, this is an 8-channel device, and I'm dispensing into a 96-well plate, all of my wells have to be dispensed at one time. I can't skip wells. So contiguous wells is the only option here. Next is the liquid class name. This is not a required field, so we'll go ahead and leave that blank. Next, we'll go ahead and complete the evaluation criteria options. This is where you'll select whether or not you're measuring this 8-channel head on Inaccuracy, Imprecision, or both. I'm measuring this 8-channel head on both. The next two options are what you base your evaluation criteria on. Now you have your overall plate criteria, but you can also have your evaluation criteria based on your channel statistics, as in each specific channel being regarded as its own separate device, as well as your dispense order statistics. You can either choose to exclude or include these items. And last but not least, you have an option to have your statistics report out as absolute volumes instead of percent. I'm going to leave this box unchecked because I want my statistics to report out as percents. Next, we're going to click on the Dispense Step tab because we need to define the volumes that we're testing at and how many replicates we're taking for each volume. We'll click on the plus sign to create a new dispense step. As I mentioned earlier, this is a 20 to 200 microliter head. I'm going to test at 3 different volumes. So the first volume I'll test at is 20 microliters. You have an option to sum multiple dispenses into a larger target volume, but I'm going to save that for another video. You also have an option to select your solution type. I'm going to leave this as aqueous QualiSure. Next, we have to define the number of replicates that we're taking for this 20 microliter dispense. I'm going to take 6 replicates today. Next, we need to define the limits for both inaccuracy and imprecision. Lastly, on the screen, we have to select the color of how we'll map these wells. So let's select this bright green, and then we'll click on Add Dispense Step. Artelware then shows you a helper video in the center of your screen that helps explain how you map your plates. Let's go ahead and click OK through that helper video. Now you'll see that we've got an empty plate before us where we have to map those 6 replicates that we're going to be testing at 20 microliters. Let's go ahead and map the first 6 columns for the 20 microliter test. I also want to test 2 more volumes on this 8-channel head. So I'll go ahead and click on the plus sign to create another new dispense step. This time, I'll test at 100 microliters, 6 replicates. I'll enter my inaccuracy and imprecision specifications, and I'll select a new color for the mapping of this 100 microliter dispense step, and click on Add Dispense Step. I'll go ahead and map the plate out for this dispense step as well. I have one last volume that I want to test this 8-channel head with. It's 200 microliters. So I'll once again click on Create New Dispense Step, enter the testing volume, enter the number of replicates, enter my inaccuracy and imprecision specification. Once again, I'll select a color to represent the volumes of that dispense. I'll click on this new plate that's been provided, and I'll go ahead and map the plate with those volumes for the 200 microliter dispense. Now you have an option to clear plates as well as clear steps. If I clear the plate, what will happen is the dispense steps that I just entered into that plate will disappear. I can also clear this plate. Now I have 2 clear plates that I need to map. I can go back up to 20 microliters. I can map the plate for 20. I can go to 100 microliters. I can map the plate for 100. I can click on this second plate and map the last volume of 200 microliters. If I wanted to clear a step, I would select the particular step that I want to clear and click on Clear Step. But let's say we want to add that 20 microliters back in. Once you've added all of the dispense steps and you've mapped your plate layouts accordingly, you can go ahead and select the Approve box. At that point, a review comment is presented to you. You can choose to add more information or accept the default review comment that's there. So we'll click OK. Now that we can see our 200 microliter variable verification plan for this 8-channel head is now on our list. Artelware also has the ability to enable the user to exclude suspect wells or channels on an automated liquid handler during the verification run. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how you can accomplish this. I already have some verification plans that I've created, so I'm going to head to the configuration screen. From there, I'll click on the Verifications Plan section. You can see that I have a verification plan that's already created. In this particular case, since it's already created, let's go ahead and click on the Edit icon at the top of the screen. From here, we'll click on the Dispense Steps tab. And within the plate itself, we can choose to exclude channels or wells. Simply right-click on the well and choose to exclude the well itself or choose to exclude the channel. Let's go ahead and exclude the channel. In this particular case, this verification plan is designed for an 8-channel device, and I've chosen to exclude the 3rd channel because I know it's a suspect channel. If we want to re-include those channels, we'll just click on one of the excluded wells and choose to re-include it. Let's go over here and let's exclude this particular well. We'll right-click on the well and we'll choose to exclude it. Once you've excluded channels or wells, simply click Approve. And in this case, I'm entering my electronic signature credentials because I have the 21 CFR Compliance Suite software add-on. I'll go ahead and sign that. So now if we click on that Dispense Step tab again, and we scroll over a little bit, we can see that that well has been excluded. Let's go ahead and re-include that well into this verification plan. We'll select the Edit icon at the top of the screen. We'll navigate back to that Dispense Step tab. We'll right-click on the well that was previously excluded, and we'll re-include that well. Within your verification plan list, you have several helpful icons that are located at the top of your list. The first is a filter icon. If you click on the filter icon, this allows you to filter by specific parameters that are located in each verification plan, as well as filtering on inactive items. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. You also have a refresh icon. You also have an Import Artel MVS Data Manager plate layout icon. I'll talk about that in a future video, but just know that if you have MVS Data Manager versions 3.6 or 3.7, you can upload a plate layout from MVS Data Manager into Artelware and save you some steps. You also have a clone selected verification plan. This saves you some time as well. If you click on the clone selected verification plan, what will happen is all of your dispense step information will come over, as well as a lot of your basic information, and you'll just need to assign a new plan name. So we'll call this Clone 200 UL 8-channel plan. And we'll go ahead and select Approve and OK. Pretty easy, right? In the very center of the screen, you have an Edit icon. That looks like a pencil to a piece of paper. Over to the far right, you have an icon to view schedules that verification plan might be associated with. And you also have an option to deactivate a selected verification plan. It should be noted that if you deactivate the verification plan, you cannot reactivate it. But let's talk a little bit about what that looks like. Let's go ahead and select the second plan that we cloned. And let's go ahead and deactivate that verification plan. We're prompted with a message asking us, are we sure? And now we see that that cloned verification plan is no longer in our list. If we click on our filter icon, we can click on Show Inactive Items, and there we see our inactive verification plan that we just deactivated. Again, you'll notice that that lock icon is now grayed out. Once a verification plan is deactivated, you cannot reactivate it. Okay, that concludes our brief tutorial. Do you have additional questions? Please contact us at 1-800-225-4034 option 3 or at support@aicompanies.com. Thank you.